to the entertainment Talking Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video as a rumor has started to leak on Twitter about current, I suppose, Dallas Cowboy Jason Witten, who, of course, went up in the broadcasting booth two years ago, was absolutely dreadful there. He was horrible. So he said, all right, I'll have a better chance of trying to compete to win another Super Bowl on the field as a tight end. Went back and played tight end for the Dallas Cowboys last year, when a lot of people thought he was done. There's rumors now coming out that Jason Witten may be joining the New York Giants in some capacity. Now, of course, Jason Witten has experience with Jason Garrett. And I don't know if this would be as a player or as a coach. There were rumors last year that Jason Witten might have been brought back to be a coach for the Cowboys. Very highly thought of in that organization. Well, the tight end position has been filled in terms of the coaching staff. They brought over the Giants' old tight ends coach. So, if he's going to be a tight ends coach, it wouldn't be there. And, of course, he has a history with Jason Garrett. After all, Jason Garrett is a huge reason as to why Jason Witten was as successful as he is. The Air Coryell system features the tight end a lot, and Jason Witten thrived off of it. And it'll be interesting to see. I don't have much interest in him as a player. He's a slow-plodding tight end at this point. I think he's over the hill. But where I do have interest in him is as a potential mentor or even a tight ends coach, being that he has so much experience in this system and that he's known as one of the better leaders in the league. But let's jump into the tweet that came off the mouth of Field Yates, who is, a very credible source of ESPN. It's a number of other places as well, but, this is the guy I pulled it from. Per Mort Report, that's Mortenson, who works for ESPN, keep an eye on the possibility of Jason Witten joining Jason Garrett with the Giants. Would certainly make for a fascinating move for the lifelong Cowboys tight end. So that's pretty interesting stuff. Now, when they hired Garrett, I thought it was possible that he'd bring along some of his buddies that were on the current coaching staff, whether it be a Chris Richard or someone like that, or a former coach that he had worked with in a Callahan. But I did not even think about a guy like Jason Witten. But Jason Witten makes a ton of sense. I thought he'd always be a good head coach. When I heard rumors last year about him potentially joining the coaching staff for the Dallas Cowboys, I thought it was a good idea. Always known as a very smart player, a great leader, and a guy that really knows the inner workings of this new system for the New York Giants. So I think he makes a ton of sense. And the Giants, if they do bring him on, another guy that's young, fits the mold of the coaching staff, a guy that's had a lot of success, one of the best tight ends who's ever lived, and he's worked with Jason Garrett in some capacity his entire career. So it makes a ton of sense. Do I think this is going to happen? I don't know yet. But it'll be interesting to see if it does. We're bringing on a lot of Cowboys, guys, if this is the case. Chris Richard, who I've been very vocal about, thought he would have made for a good defensive coordinator given our secondary. Word has come out that he may join USC, or at least he's been offered the position. He may be waiting on other proposals as the Cowboys have seemingly moved on from him. We'll see if the Giants are interested in him, being that he has experience with Jason Garrett, maybe in the defensive backfield, if he'd be willing to take that position. But, Jason Witten, really interesting stuff, and a guy that I could not stand whenever he took on the New York Giants. He killed us. I remember there was one game he had like 12, 13 catches. We could never stop him, and we always thought he was over the hill, but he always found ways to make plays against the New York Giants. I doubt it would be as a player. I don't see him coming here as a player. I think his time as a player is done. I think the main reason he came back to the Cowboys last year had a lot more to do to be in a mentor role, things like that, for the young tight ends like Blake Jarwin. But I suppose anything's possible. I mean, if he is going to come back, it would make a lot of sense to come back for the New York Giants, being that he's had great success with Jason Garrett in that system. Maybe we move on from Evan Ingram via a trade. I doubt it. I'm not really interested in him playing tight end for the Giants, but I am very interested in him potentially coaching tight end for the New York Giants and teaching them the inner workings of this system, both the tight ends and the wide receiver position. And he's a great leader, a guy that had great chemistry with Tony Romo, remains great friends with Romo. Dak Prescott loved him. And maybe, he could bring something to the quarterback position as well with a Daniel Jones. I think this is an interesting name, and I think it's adding more drama to this offseason that another potential former Cowboy joining the New York Giants staff. We'll have to see if there's any traction on this rumor and if Jason Witten will indeed be a New York Giant, whether it is as a player or a coach, but I wanted to get that up on the pages. I just heard about it. I'll be live in about a half hour with Bad Dog over on his channel, but I just want to let you guys know there are rumors that Jason Witten could be a New York Giant. As always, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.